everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Are you in need of some quick and easy holiday card ideas? She waits for a response. No one answers because she's by herself in the craft/dining room. I wanted to put together a video sharing some really quick and easy card ideas. Maybe you are stumped this holiday season, or maybe you just want to make a few to send to some special people. The people you actually really want to send to. You know what I mean. If that's you, or if you're just looking for some inspiration, I got you. Try to take inspiration from what I'm sharing today, dig through your stash, and see what you can come up with. My 5 holiday card projects that you can do are coming up next. So we'll start today in order of simplest to possibly most complex, but all of these designs are doable, and let's not wait any further. Let's jump in. Card 1, put something shiny behind a die cut window. For this project, I'm going to use this neighborhood die, but I'm not using the houses, I'm just going to use the outline shape. I've got something shiny, so anything shiny will do. I've got a piece of cardstock, and this is trimmed down to be 3 3/4 by 5. I'm cutting out the houses, and I'm getting rid of those because that's too much work. I don't want to spend that kind of time. Do you? I mean, you could because they're very cute, but that's what I need. Now I'm going to figure out how much shiny gold I need behind. So I'll just put a pencil mark, trim this down, and you can use glitter cardstock, pattern paper, anything, but I like the shine. I'm lining it up right in position behind that panel. I'll tape it into place and add some dot runner to the gold cardstock. That way, I've got it all coated. I can flip this over and press to perfectly position the gold cardstock, just like that. Next, I'm going to take foam tape and just cover the back of the die cut panel. And again, any shape you have, if you have a ornament shape or even just some like circles that you could pretend were ornaments, right? You can turn that into a holiday idea to pop up on your card. And that's what I'm doing. You pop it down, you've got a little bit of dimension and shine behind it. So simple. I'll take some sentiment strips. These are pre-printed strips. I trimmed one, well, one was already trimmed down, so how easy is that? Then I'm just going to take my Copic T10 dark colored marker to fill in the sides just so it looks like it's all on black cardstock. I've got a Derice foam strip and I'm popping it down. And that is it. Now you could dress this up, right, with sequins and other things, but how simple is that? Done and done. Card 2, a simple, shaped, and shiny card project. This die from Brutus Monroe is so fun, and I'm going to make a shaped card. So I'm starting today with a piece of Neenah Solar White Classic Crest. This is in the 80 pound. I wanted to use 80 pound because I'm going to die cut through both parts to create the shaped card. See how I'm hanging the die off the top there? That way it won't cut all the way through, but I'll still have the shape of the stocking. So I'm going to run this back and forth a few times just to really make sure I get a clean cut. And again, the 80 pound cardstock makes it a little easier to do. And when we take it all off, we are left with a wonderful stocking that is joined at the top. And that becomes my shaped card. So cute, right? Next, I'm going to cut the detailed part of this die set out of some matte silver cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to poke out all the little doodads and look at that. With the leftover, I'm going to die cut a shadow layer for the word Ho, which is a die from me. And I will cut out some white layers as well. I'm going to do 3 in all so that I can have a little bit of dimension on top of that shadow layer. Next, I'll use spray adhesive to glue everything together. I spray it in a box off camera. It's just a quick way to add adhesive all over, especially a delicate die cut like that. Press that into place, get it really adhered, and then I'll repeat by building up the dimension on the Ho shadow layer. And that's 1 layer, and 2, and the 3rd. And again, you can use any kind of adhesive you have. I just use spray adhesive because it's so fast and it adds a layer all over the back of the die cut. But that way I have a hoe with a nice bit of dimension and the silver shadow layer. I'm going to stamp a greeting on the inside of this little card. I'm just mounting it here on my block. I'm going to ink it up with some black ink and just stamp it right in the center of the card. I don't always show the insides, but I thought it would be cute to show this because it's such a cute little shaped card. Close it down and I will pop up the hoe right onto the stocking with some thin foam squares in a nice little location. And how cute is that? This would be so easy to make multiples of, right? You're just stamping, die cutting, and making that goodness. And look at the shine. Next, card 3, simple repeat stamping. This is so much fun to take any greeting that you love, and I think this greeting set from Simon Says Stamp is very cheery, and I love the typography. And it's a good way to really put your MISTI to work. You grab some inks in whatever colors you want to use. I'm going with a rainbow order, and I'm starting with my paper in the lower position on the MISTI because the idea here is I'm going to stamp several Be Marys, but you don't have to move the stamp, you just move your paper. So we clean off in between each color. I'm going to move it up 3/4 of an inch, put my magnet back down, and move on to my second color. You just want to make sure that you've got enough clearance, and I'm stamping this down. I did trim this in advance. This is 3 3/4 wide by 5 inches tall. You could wait to trim it until you finished your stamping just to make sure you have even margins on all sides, but I just decided to roll the dice as I moved up my 3/4 of an inch and stamped the next color. This is something you can do with any greeting or any kind of image stamp that you have. You know, if you have a stamp positioner, work it, because this is one of the most fun ways to do stamping and have it be all nicely spaced out. And I rarely remember to do this with my MISTI, but it is so fun, and wait till you see how simple this finished card is. We're moving on. We've got our green and stamping that down. Plus, the nice thing about having a stamp positioner like the MISTI, you can keep stamping in the same position as long as your cardstock doesn't move and just get fantastic ink coverage. My last color is going to be the blue. This is Surf. I ran out of room for Taffy, which is kind of a purple color. I know, sometimes it seems like I give purple the short end of the stick, but trust me, purple's great. There just wasn't room for it on this card, and I wanted to keep the measurements really simple. So for me, 3/4 of an inch was the way to go. Stamping this down, and there we have our colorful panel. Isn't that cute? It's so simple, but so merry. I'm going to put foam tape on the back and pop it up on a green card base, and then you know it, we're going to add a little shine here with some sequins. Boop. Another one there. Boop. We're booping it up, and really, you don't need the shine. Boop. But if you like it like me, throw on some sequins. Boop. Just to add, boop, a little shine. And that's the finished card. All right. Card 4, Colorless Vellum Critters. Now I love cute critters. Look at how cute these critters are. And I love coordinating dies, but I don't love to color. So get a piece of vellum, right? And we're going to stamp and add embossing powder to just create little white outlined critters. I've got this new powder tool. This is from, what is it, Cottontail Rabbit Hole Designs. It's brand new to me, and I'm testing it out. I was on a waiting list to get it, and now, well, I got it. I'll report back. So far, it's working fine. Inking up with my Versamark ink, my sticky embossing ink. Just give a nice press onto the vellum, and then I'll sprinkle on the white powder. Now, coloring is not my jam. I mean, I've done it. I have lots of videos where I do very simple coloring, but if I don't have to color a critter, I'm almost happier. How many of you can relate? This is so simple. You just melt the powder And embossing works really nicely on vellum, but you want to keep that tool moving, right? Don't stay in one spot too long. But melt all the powder until it is shiny and smooth. I just have it here sitting right on my little Positively Everything tool from Simon Says Stamp. I'll put the coordinating dies in place and then just run it through. And look at how cute they are. Next, I'll take more of those sentiment strips and trim a few down for the greeting on this card. I've got my Merry Christmas and from our family to yours, and I think it's cute because you got a penguin family here. But seriously, any cute critters will work, and I will also color in the sides like I did on the other strip. I'm going to add spray adhesive to the back of my vellum critters, and here's what's so great. It lays this nice even layer of adhesive and you barely notice it. It's almost like if you had a Xyron and created a sticker. Spray glue is great for vellum. I had his little foot hanging off. I did that on purpose. I wasn't trying to be cruel and cut off a little penguin foot, but you'll see why. I just wanted it to bleed off the edge, and I'm popping up my greetings, but then I thought, I have another idea. Now this is taking it up a notch. You don't need to do this, but I could have done this sooner. That's why I'm masking off my greetings. But I'm going to make some snow on this card. And I love this ink, this titanium white ink. Take a fan brush, put it on an acrylic block, and tap. This is a very monochromatic card too. And I think sometimes we don't think of monochromatic for the holidays, but it is a great way to create a really unified design. And look at how cute that finished card is. So don't color your critters. Do this instead. The last card is creating a simple see-through window. Now this is a little more involved, but it's still pretty easy to do. I've got a few supplies here, and I'm going to score my card base, but I am not going to fold it because I am going to die cut a snowflake window out of the panel, right? I'm going to tape that into place, and I don't even need to separate the snowflake out. Like, you can cut them apart, but you don't need to if you're doing something like this. I'm cutting out the window and a snowflake. This snowflake will be gold. And then I'll take my Mary die and pop that right in so I can cut out a gold Mary greeting. I'll also cut out a white one as well, just for a little dimension. I'll get out the gold snowflake, and I'm not going to use the outline. And then I'm also popping out the white one, and again, I won't use the shadow layer, I just want the snowflake itself, because what I'm going to do is create a little window and have a gold snowflake and the greeting floating in the center of the window. I'll use my spray adhesive to add the snowflakes together. And of course you can add more dimension here if you like. I wanted to keep it simple because it is, this is a little more involved, right? So we just have 2 layers of dimension with the shiny matte gold cardstock on top. And next, I'm going to fold down the card, give it a little score here. And then I'm going to take a piece of acetate so that I can create a window. I've cut it to size here, and I'm adding a little dot runner all around on the inside of the card. And I'll just pop that down and press. So that way I have a nice little see-through window for this card. I'll add my spray adhesive to the back of the gold snowflake and press that down into place. Isn't that cool? Oh, give it a little press. This is kind of like you want to do a shaker card, but instead you're going to just create a floating greeting, which is so easy. I went ahead and cut the shadow layer out for the word Mary just to give it a little bit of contrast from the snowflake. Added foam squares to the back and popped that up right in the center, and that is the finished card. Of course, you could add sequins in gold if you like, but I kept it super simple. And that is the 5th card project. I hope this has given you some fun ideas for some simple holiday cards. I'll see you back here with more card project videos soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.